Hello, this is James. We got a fat new ban list, skill rebalancing, and it's not good, free to play boys and girls. It's not good. It's not right. Okay, so we got skill rebalancing and the card rebalancing. Let's do skill rebalancing first. That's less painful. Cyber Style is nerfed. You can no longer use the Proto Cyber Dragons except as fusion materials. So it can be used if your life points are at 3,000 below. Play one Cyber Proto for in attack position for every 1,000 LP before 4,000. Proto Cyber Dragon played with this skill cannot be tribute or used as material except for when fusion summoning. Skill can only be used once per duel. Their explanation is that this skill has seen much use outside of Cyber decks due to its versatility. Therefore, we will change the skill so it can only be used for fusion summons, restricting its use to what we originally intended. I don't quite buy this. I think that, well, because we've been using it Cyber Style for every single type of deck except for fusion decks for like the past 2 months, and I think this is a fairly blatant example of Konami letting us have something that they know is busted for a little while. We can enjoy it, and then when they want to roll out a new meta or get some new cards, so we're probably getting some new tuners and some stronger synchro monsters, and they don't want us to be able to just spam whatever that is with the Cyber Style. But this was to be expected. This hurts the free-to-play heart, but Cyber Style has been very busted for a long time, and with synchro summoning, I was only gonna grow more out of control. So I accept this. Life cost 0 has seen much use along Cyber Stein. They acknowledge we will be limiting the number of times the skill can be used, as the increased card pool has made it easier to reduce your life points below 1,000. Actually, life cost 0 procs at 1,000. And has created more options for fusion monsters that can be summoned by Cyberstein, making this skill too powerful. Can be used if your life points are at 1,000 or below until the end of your opponent's next turn for one time only. You do not have to pay life points to activate a card. This skill can be used once per duel. So getting your life cost 0 and then being able to spam out a bunch of stuff, being able to Cyberstein 2 monsters, and then use 3 Cosmic Cyclones at 0 life cost is no longer happening. You basically you get your life points to below 1,000. So you could have 2,000 life points, use a Cosmic Cyclone, hit a back row, get your life points down to 1,000, and then you can summon one monster from your extra deck using Cyberstein's effect. This is positive because life cost 0 decks are annoying, even though they fall under the purview of free to play. But it's not a real deck. You're just trying to you just have the one fragile objective, and if you don't get that, you can. Yeah, I agree with life cost 0, and we've been expecting Cyber Style for a while now. The skills ban list, okay, Konami. But these card ban lists, where we go? October 22nd, the execution date for such terrors as Vision Hero Vion, limited to 1. Amazoness Ambush, limited to 1. Semi-limited Amazoness Princess. No, Sweet Prin. Well, I have 1 prismatic, and now I only need 1 more prismatic. Wiz, Sage for Hire, Hatronade, and Treacherous Trap Hole. They are hitting box super rares. Now, very important. So obviously Konami doesn't want to, we're not even going to address Princess yet. Obviously Konami does not want to hit these money cards as much because people pay for them, people chase them. I think that Hatronade and Treacherous Trap Hole are the two like most used money cards in cheese decks that make people unhappy. So this makes sense. It's also the lightest that they could. It's also the lightest nerf that they could do to super rares, because these are original mini box, 80-pack mini box super rares. People didn't use up quite as much money to get their trip copies of Treacherous Trap Hole, get their trip copies of Hatronade. So, you know, I get it. You don't want your game to be ended quickly by Hatronade. I think that kind of goes against the Duel Links like speed format, where it's, you know, the meta game is designed to be played on a phone, and that's why, you know, I thought that Treacherous Trap Hole made a lot of sense. But I get it. Treacherous Trap Hole I really liked because, you know, you're able to run it with Econ, and then you can have like a good free-to-play cheese deck. Treacherous Trap Hole, yeah, you didn't have any skill in drawing it, but it really equalizes the field against vampires. So, and you know what? It still has that power. You still get 2. I only have 2. The only issue is you can't use it with Hatronade, and you can't use it with Econ, and you can't use it in For Hires. So the big hits here are really For Hires. All Amazons lost was the one ambush, which is terrible. If your one ambush gets hit with a Cosmic Cyclone, that's it. You're done. And it makes Amazons even more wedded to the Odeon Endless Trap Hell skill, which we'll probably see the next nerf, because, you know, with 2 Princess and one Amazoness ambush, I still think they will have they still have 3/4 of their original strength. On the other hand, we can't use, so Dinah is at 1, and you know what? At the end of this video, we're gonna go and we're gonna show how the ban list works. Dinah is at 1, Dompa is at 2. Wiz being limited to 2 makes you have to choose between Wiz and Dompa. They're continually removing heavies from the For Hire deck, which I think that Wiz was being used too much for stalling. I think that's what it was. So kind of the opposite of the Hatronade and the Treacherous Trap Hole nerfs. Nerfing Wiz makes the game move faster, because Wiz can reliably negate the opponent's plays, and you can also just sit on her big butt and draw into some more cards. So, you know, draw into your Dinah, and then now if you want to play For Hires, 3 beats is more imperative than ever, because you now have to choose between 2 Wiz or in 0 Dompa, or 1 of each and 2 of one and 0 of the other. And then Vion, I guess, yeah, because this Vion let Destiny heroes either do the Masked Hero Anki cheese route, or, you know, you could keep you had 3 Ankies and you could keep a Trin and a Dangerous in your extra deck, and then have a couple of Vions and have that alternative win condition. That's never been a problem for me. I've only ever had the 1 Vion. All right. That is rough. All right, so we're gonna go and we're gonna look. So the way to check the Forbidden and Limited list now and for all time. Okay, so you go to the card studio. You go to the card catalog, and then the card catalog takes a minute to load, and then we go down here, Forbidden Limited, the Forbidden Limited button in the card catalog, and here we see all of our beautiful Forbidden and Limited cards. Alright, so Limited, this is different from the TCG, and we're going to do this every time, because whenever I make a ban list video, I got people that don't know how the ban list works telling me how the ban list works. Excuse me, I'm a little emotional. So, when a card is assigned Limited, you may include only 1 card in your deck out of all the Limited cards. Semi-Limited, only 2 cards out of all of the Semi-Limited cards. So from all of these ones, I can choose one. I can either have Massive Morph or Dyna, and then I can have Baby Tiger or Ambush out of all of these 2 cards. All right, and let's show that on a deck. So here's my okay, this is secrets. We're gonna since Cyber Style was nerfed so quickly after my Eyes of Blue video, we need to refresh that. Okay, so here's Dyna. All right, I got my 1 Dyna in my deck. Okay, and then what is it? Sprite, something Sprite. Yeah, Woodland Sprite, also limited to 1. I cannot add it. All right. However, enemy controller, limited to 2. I can have 2, but then, whenever I want to type ambush, but I know it's not ambush. Onslaught, limited to 2. I cannot have 2, so I can have as many. I can have 1 of any limited card and 2 of any semi-limited card, and that does not conflict in my deck for Duel Links. So, hope you've enjoyed this gutting of the harem, of the for hires. Thank you for watching.